Hey, this is Carolina Millan, and in today's video, I want to share with you 5 life-changing books to help you with your money mindset. So stay tuned. If this is the first time you're watching any of my videos, then go ahead and the first thing I want you to do is hit that subscribe button, tap the notifications bell if you're watching on YouTube, and let me know what you think about the video. Reading is a very important habit. You've probably heard that leaders are readers, and so today I want to recommend to you 5 books that have really helped me. And maybe you've read some of these books before, but I want to challenge you to read them again. Especially if you've read them a long time ago, you'll be surprised because you're not the same person you were back then. You're a totally different person now, and so you might pick up some things that you did not pick up before. Okay, so take some notes. We're gonna leave the links in the description as well, so you can go grab them from Amazon. And let's get started. So the first book I need to recommend to you, it's a must. You'll never see a list of books without it. Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And again, if you've read it before, read it again. Read it again because this is one of those books that you cannot just read once and then, oh, that was a nice book. You need to be implementing this book. You need to be like writing notes. You need to do what is said here. And one of my favorite things about this book is that it gives you some actionable steps. So it's not just theory, it's not just nice stories, but it gives you steps to follow. And the one thing I particularly like is the 6 steps to riches, which begin on chapter 2 and continue on. Another thing I really love about this book is the concept of the mastermind and how when you put your mind together with other like-minded people, you create this bigger entity, so to speak. So that's why it's so important for you to have mentors and to be a part of a mastermind. So if you've read it before and you've never read it more than once, pick it up again, read it again, take notes, implement the 6 steps to riches. Think and Grow Rich. The second book I must recommend to you, The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clayson. I'm never sure how to pronounce his last name. Might be Clayson. So this book is really awesome. I'm a really slow reader. I'm a very slow reader. And so what I loved about this book is it was so easy to read. Despite the language being like Old English, especially for me, English is not my first language. So there were a few passages that I had to like read again because it's written in Old English, most of it. But I love it because it shares all of these fables from the times of Babylon from a few thousand years ago and how the civilization ended up being probably the first one to use money as a means of exchange of value. And if I had to choose just one teaching from this book, it would be the 10% rule, where you need to be saving 10% out of your paycheck or whatever money you make every month and put it in a different account and make it compound. Start investing it, start doing things with that money. There are several steps in this book that you can follow. That's just one of them, and I don't want to give the whole book away. So if you haven't read it, go ahead and read it. You can read it very quickly. It's short, it's fun, it's sweet, to the point, and it gives you some actionable advice on how to grow, multiply, and protect your money. The next book I have to recommend to you, this is another classic, a little more modern than those first 2. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I have the Spanish version of it, Padre Rico, Padre Pobre, but Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a must-read book for anyone watching this video right now. And again, if you've read it before and it's been a long time, read it again, because you're not the same person you were the first time you read it. You're just not. And chances are you're going to pick up a few things you didn't pick up before. So read it. And the way I like reading books, that's why I'm so slow. I don't get to read a whole lot of books. And I don't like reading summaries of books either. I like reading the book, enjoying it. I like taking notes. If there is an exercise or something you're supposed to do it. Like stop reading and then go do the exercise. And that's something about this book and all the other books I'm recommending to you that must be done if you want to get the most value out of it. Now, what I really love about this book as well is the mindset shifts. that you need to be making in order to move from the self-employed and employee side of the quadrant to the entrepreneur and investor side. And it's a move that you want to make eventually. If you haven't done it yet, or maybe you have, but you're not quite there yet, remember this. Remember the message of this book and just start moving towards being an investor and an entrepreneur. Because for me, my favorite teaching from this book, and I read this book for the first time back in 2009, a really long time ago. I was just starting out when I read it. And my favorite thing about it is that it tells you, right? It tells you some really great stories that are so relatable, and how you need to stop trading your time for money. And it woke me up in a way. Like, I was an employee back then, I was at my first job, and the concept of passive income and linear income was like, that's amazing. You can actually make money without necessarily exchanging your time for it. I want to learn more of that. So, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If you haven't read it, read it. If you've already read it, read it again. I'm telling you. The next book I want to recommend, especially for power women who might be watching my videos, but if you're a guy, you can read it too. It doesn't really matter. It's just that the author is a woman, and so she like speaks to women in it. But the book has some amazing teachings, and it's called "You Are a Badass at Making Money" by Jen Sincero, and it's so good. Like, I love her style. I love like her communication. And what I really like about this book as well is how it provides some really actionable advice on how to charge more for your products and services. So there's a lot of mindset in here, but also a lot about self-worth and a lot about really putting together a service, a product, and start making money. And it's so simple. Like, people overcomplicate the whole process of making money. You think you need, a lot of certifications and stuff like that. But sometimes that's not what people are looking for. People are looking to learn from people who have walked the same path that they're on, people who are a few steps ahead of them. And that's what people want. They want to learn from you. So this book is amazing, and I strongly recommend it. And the next book I want to recommend, book number 5, is Millionaire Success Habits from my mentor, Dean Graziosi. Dean Graziosi, I love you. I love Dean, and he knows it. And this book is really amazing because it feels like you're listening to him. It feels like you're talking to him. And it's just awesome because normally when you read a book, it doesn't sound like a person is talking. It sounds like a book. And I remember Dean sharing, I don't know if it's inside the book or where I heard this, but he was like, when I wrote this book, I had to, they wanted me to rewrite it all over again because it sounded like I was talking. And I was like, but that's how I sound, and that's how I want it to sound. And so I love that. I love that it's very true to Dean's personality. Strongly recommended. One of my favorite things about this book is the 7 levels deep exercise about finding your why. And finding your why is just so crucial right now. Because a lot of the reasons why you're not making money is because you don't have a strong reason why you want it. And you think you have a strong reason, but it's not really. And the exercise that Dean explains in this book shows you how to uncover the real reason, the real why. And when you have a why that is that strong, you will overcome almost any obstacle. And also, Dean shares several of his own personal habits, gratitude, for example, being super grateful every day, and working on yourself and your skills and all of that. So, Millionaire Success Habits, if you haven't read it by Dean Graziosi, pick it up. Remember, we're going to put the links in the description for all of these books, especially if you're watching on YouTube. And as a bonus, I have a 6th book I want to share with you, The Choose Yourself Guide to Wealth from James Altucher. Another great mentor. I've interviewed James a couple times on my podcast, and he's brilliant. He's just, I don't have another word for James. Brilliant. And I love this book. It's got so many actionable steps that you can follow to grow your wealth. And I love that it's about choosing yourself. A lot of people leave themselves second or third. They put everyone else first. But sometimes you gotta choose yourself, especially if you're going to generate long-lasting wealth. One of my favorite teachings about this book is the concept of having an idea book and working your idea muscle. And James says, your brain, your ideas, generating ideas is a muscle that needs to be worked. And if you don't work on that idea muscle, if you leave it there, then you stop coming up with ideas. And so he has this thing where every day he writes down 10 new ideas, whatever they are, even if they suck, even if they're bad ideas, it doesn't matter. It's about having a little book, which I have several of these now, an idea book, a tiny little notebook where every day you sit down and you write down 10 ideas, whatever comes. It doesn't matter if they're not brilliant, because the point is, at the end of the year, you will have 3,650 new ideas. And imagine if out of those, you get 2 great ones, like $2 billion ideas. You would have never gotten them if you hadn't exercised the muscle. So my friend, choose yourself, Guide to Wealth, James Altucher, pick it up. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if there are other books about money mindset that you would like to share. Leave them in the comments. Let me know if there was any of these books that you haven't read, or maybe you read it a long time ago and you're like, wow, I need to read this book again. And let me know what other content you'd like to see on the channel. I know I haven't been producing a whole lot of English content lately. I've been a little busy with my Spanish content, but I'm still here. I'm still helping. I'm still serving you, and I want to continue to serve you. So leave me a question or a comment below the video here. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, share, especially with other people that you think might need to hear this message today. I look forward to hearing from you, and I challenge you to read one of these books in the next couple of weeks and then come back to the video and let me know what happened. What did you like the most? Which book are you choosing? Choose one of the 5-6 books that I recommended today and let me know in the comments which one are you going to start with, and let me know what you loved the most about the book. I'll talk to you in the next video.